Welcome to DRTSPR show. This is Dr. Tangella Shiva Prasad Reddy alias Dr. TSPR. Namaste, Adab. Hello and a warm welcome to Dr. KG Ramesh Garu, who was landed in Bengaluru from Bangkok. We have done a show while he was in Bangkok. Bangkok is also equally hot, but there they manage and maintain that tranquility with nature and with human beings. But what are we doing? प्रधानमंत्री जी और मुख्यमंत्रियों, हमने एक शो किया था 2 दिन पहले. हम यही बताया कि तापमान किस तरह बढ़ रहा है और अक्टूबर 2024 में ही इसकी पूरी समाचार केंद्र सरकार और राज्य सरकारों के पास है. कितनी गर्मी बढ़ेगी और हमारी पानी की स्थिति क्या होगी, तो इसके ऊपर कोई निर्णय हुआ? कुछ नहीं. फिर वही वो इलेक्ट्रल पॉलिटिक्स, फिर बिहार इलेक्शंस के लिए हिंदू मुस्लिम, फिर नया वक्फ लाया लोगों को उल्लू बना के लिए. जब मेजॉरिटी था 300 के ऊपर, तब वक्फ क्यों नहीं हुआ? यूसी यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड क्यों नहीं हुआ? तब केवल अदानी अंबानी को सेवा करने के लिए और इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया सवर्ण करने के लिए ये सब किया गया. मैं समझता हूं पूरे देश के लोग जानकार हो जाइए, क्योंकि गर्मी इतनी तेजी से बढ़ रही है और बढ़ते ही जाएगी सालों साल. इससे हम कैसे बचना? क्या ये हमारे सरकारों की इंपॉर्टेंट इश्यू नहीं है? क्या ये मुद्दा नहीं है क्या सरकार के साथ? क्यों दूसरे की बात कर रही है ये लोग? पूरे देखे ना, मोदी से लेके अमित शाह और राहुल गांधी सब ये ऐसे प्लेन्स में घूमते हैं और एसी रूम्स में रहते हैं, तो आम आदमी का क्या? और तब बच्चों 10वीं कक्षा और 12वीं कक्षा परीक्षाएं हैं अभी. ये गर्मी में क्या वो लिख सकेंगे, बाहर जा सकेंगे? और पानी क्या है रवि, क्लियरली रमेश जी ने बताया. हम प्रिपेयर ही नहीं हुए. कितना पानी है हमारे पास, हम किस तरह खेती बाड़ी करें और कौन कौन से फसल डाले, तो इसका कोई पूंछी हुई? कुछ नहीं. एक हिदायत दिया गया था, 10वीं हो या 12वीं हो और दूसरे कोई भी विद्यार्थियों को ये फरवरी के अंदर खत्म कीजिए. एटलीस्ट ये मई के 15 के अंदर कुछ ना कुछ करना था, ताकि कॉलेज स्कूल्स में पंखा वगैरह पावर हमारे को बचा सकते हैं और वहां पानी भी बचा सकते हैं और हमारे बच्चों को भावी भारत जो है ये गर्मी से बचा सकते हैं, ताकि वो स्वस्थ रहे. ఏమైనా చేశారా? ఇన్ని షోస్ చేసాం మేము. మొన్న కూడా చేసి వేడి పెరుగుతుందయా, మిగతాయి కాదు. వేడి వల్ల మన పిల్లలు భావి భారతం 10వ తరగతి కానీ 12వ తరగతి కానీ మిగతా విద్యార్థులు ఈ ఎండలో పోయి రాస్తారా? దీనిపై ఏదైనా చర్చించండి అంటే అక్కడ ప్రధానమంత్రి కానీ ముఖ్యమంత్రి గాని వాళ్ళు మాట్లాడరు, ప్రతిపక్ష నాయకులు వాళ్ళు మాట్లాడరు. అట్లీస్ట్ ఈ మే 15 లోపల అన్ని చేసేసి లేకపోతే పోస్ట్పోన్ అయినా చేస్తారు. ప్రతి సంవత్సరం వేడి పెరుగుతుంది. అక్టోబర్లోనే 2024లోనే ఎంత వేడిగా పెరిగిపోతుంది, ఎంత నీరు ఉన్నదని చెప్పిన తర్వాత కూడా ఇప్పటి వరకు అది మాట్లాడకుండా ఇంకొక అంశాల పట్ల పోవడం దుర్మార్గమా కాదా? అందు గురించి మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి मन की बात में उसको मन की बात को चेंज करिए प्रधानमंत्री. तापमान की बात, जिस तरह जलवायु परिवर्तन हो रहा है उसके ऊपर आप चर्चा कीजिए. देश को बचाइए. देश माने सभी नागरिक हो, उनको बचाइए. आप खाली एसी में घूमते हैं, सब करते हैं. आप आके डेली पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट में घूमिए, प्रधानमंत्री हो या मुख्यमंत्री, हर एक पार्टीगण, तब आपको पता चलेगा क्या है गर्मी और आम आदमी की तकलीफ. सर, a foreword from you, then I'll start showing all the.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. Good morning to all subscribers of this channel. Our concern is to flag real issues to the people and the public, so that you become vigilant, aware of consequences of adverse impacts of climate change. And that's what we are making effort to put the facts into your knowledge and consideration, so that you become aware. Once you become aware, you can seek the kind of services which you need from the authorities, and seek also the safety and sustainability of the whole society and the people, particularly taking care of the next generation. The children today are going to take care of our future and country's future and everybody's destiny. So that's where we have to protect. Heat is the very, very, very strong extreme event. We are not new to heat waves. We are always living in above 35 degrees centigrade. But the kind of heating which you used to see in April and May and till the monsoon comes in June is going to be there right from February itself. You have seen end of January underwent serious transition of replacing winter so fast into a summer tendencies. Though even the thunderstorms over Kerala and Tamil Nadu, which were only to happen in end of April and beginning of May, are started happening in the current week. Few days before, Tuticorin had urban floods because of thunderstorms, which is totally unusual in the month of in February last week. And that is what we are been telling. And last week also we said 37, 38 degrees centigrade Rayalaseema and Telangana are already um, experiencing. Coastal Karnataka, North Interior Karnataka, Maharashtra are also equally warm above 35 degrees centigrade. And this tendency is very harmful, and experience of this 2025 should become an eye opener to minimize the exposure and morbidity impacts on our children, at least from year 2026, and also plan for equitable water availability with water use efficiency uh, till the subsequent monsoon season of July comes. We have to be planning for the water availability and safety and heat stress protection to our children. That is very important. Elderly and children, we have to take care of them, and they have brought us to this level, all elderly and children. Unless we take care of them with enough nutrition and protection, and they cannot be worthy of taking care of us in future decades. Thank you.
Wonderful, sir. But what about this year? At least now they can change the examination timings. Instead of afternoon, they can bring it down to morning session or
Early morning, early morning, early morning. They
morning
should
or
start at 7
evening.
o'clock, 8 o'clock, and by 11 it should be over.
By
Yes,
11, they
that
should
is
reach
also
home. By 11, they should reach
that is in their hands. That is in their hands. See, only the not the board exams of 10th and 12th. All annual exams of primary school and high school also are to be completed in this month. Otherwise, the temperature already IMD has given. This summer is going to be unusually, unexceptionally, exceptionally warm summer, and several epochs of heat waves will be there. So IMD has already given that announcement and assessment on 28th February itself after our show.
Yeah. After our show, immediately వాతావరణ నిపుణులు వాతావరణ శాఖ ఏ విధంగా ఉండబోతుంది ఈ 2025 వేసవి కాలం అని చెప్పింది. అందుగురించే ముఖ్యమంత్రులారా, మీరు ఈ పరీక్షలను ఉదయం 6 కావచ్చు, 7 కావచ్చు, 10:30, 11 వరకు వాళ్ళ ఇంటికి చేరాలి పిల్లలు. ఈ పరీక్షలన్నీ కూడా అవసరమైతే 15 లోపల లేకుంటే ఈ మార్చి లోపలనే మీరు అన్ని పూర్తి చేయండి. లేకపోతే విధ్వంసమే ప్రజలకు. आप सोचिए, हमारी शो के बाद में जो वातावरण शाखा है, उन्होंने किसी क्लियरली उन्होंने एक समाचार रिलीज किया है प्रजा हित में कि ये गर्मी 2025 ज्यादा होगी. इसीलिए हमारी एक विनती है केंद्र और राज्य सरकार से, जो भी परीक्षाएं हैं वो सवेरे के समय में 8 या 10 के अंदर ही खत्म कीजिए, ताकि 11 बजे के अंदर लोग घर में हैं. और ये मार्च ही बहुत गर्मी है, मार्च के अंदर सब कुछ खत्म होना चाहिए. और उसी तरह हमारे किसान को भी किस तरह की फसल वो ये करना है, किस तरह की सहायता केंद्र और राष्ट्र सरकार, क्योंकि अन्न भी मोर इंपॉर्टेंट है, वो भी मुख्य है, उनको भी बचाना होगा। और साथ में हर कोई जो रोड में काम करता है उनको भी हमको बचाना है, वरना हमारे स्वास्थ्य शाखा के ऊपर इतनी 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 भारी ये होगी, आप पूछ ही नहीं सकते। ఎందుకంటే మనం వీళ్ళని రక్షించుకోకపోతే పోయి పనిచేసే వాళ్ళను ఆరోగ్య శాఖ మీద చాలా భారం పడుతుంది, దానివల్ల ప్రజలు అతలాకుతలం అవుతారు, ప్రజాధనం వృధా అవుతుంది। प्रिवेंशन इज बेटर देन क्योर। निवारण जो है वो उचित उपाय है प्रमाद के पहले। तो आप सोचिए। सो आई जस्ट शो यू certain things which sir has already shared, because we always
ఫస్ట్ మీరు చెప్పారు, నిన్న నిన్న చూపించారు కదా క్లైమేట్ చేంజ్ రియల్ కాదని. లెట్ us
అదే
spend few minutes on that.
యా ఫస్ట్ ఇది ఒక్కసారి ఇది ప్లే చేసి
भाग्य
Yeah, yeah.
विधाता, ये राष्ट्रीय गान की लाइन हम कितने गर्व से दोहराते हैं, लेकिन कौन है भारत का भाग्य विधाता आज हम बताते हैं कि जिसके मेहनत से 140 करोड़ का ये देश पलता है, जिसका हल चलता है तो देश की हर मुश्किल का हल निकलता है, जो हवाओं की भाषा समझता है, आसमान की रंग पहचानता है, जो एक छोटे से बीज को लहलहाते हुए फसल में बदलने का जादू जानता है, वो जो ऊपर से इंसान अंदर से फरिश्ता है, इस धरती से जिसका माँ और बेटे का रिश्ता है, वो हमारे कंठधार, हमारे अन्नदाता, ये किसान, यही तो है हमारे भारत भाग्य विधाता।
वाह, भारत भाग्य विधाता इज हमारे किसान, भाग्य विधाता
Yes.
రైతులు। सर योर कमेंट सर, जलवायु परिवर्तन, हर किसान आज रो रहा है, क्या हम क्या करें। आज तक केंद्र राष्ट्र सरकार इसके ऊपर बात ही नहीं करती। दे डोंट वांट टू स्पीक ऑन ది క్లైమేట్ చేంజెస్। ఈ వాతావరణ మార్పులపై కేంద్ర రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వాలు మాట్లాడతలేవు। అక్కడ రైతు ఏడుస్తా ఉన్నాడు, మేము ఏం చేయాలని, ఇంత విపరీతమైనటువంటి వేడి, నీళ్లు లేవు, మేము ఏం చేయాలా రబీ సార్।
దీని మీద మనకి యాక్షన్ ప్లాన్స్ అయితే ఉన్నాయి. నేషనల్ యాక్షన్ ప్లాన్ క్లైమేట్ చేంజ్ అండ్ ఫర్ అగ్రికల్చర్ అండ్ వాటర్, అండ్ అదేవిధంగా స్టేట్ యాక్షన్ ప్లాన్స్ ఆన్ క్లైమేట్ చేంజ్ అవన్నీ ఉన్నాయి. బట్ ఈ యాక్షన్ ప్లాన్స్లో ఐడెంటిఫై చేసిన యాక్టివిటీస్ని ఫండ్ చేసే మెకానిజం ఇప్పటిదాకా ఎవాల్వ్ చేయలేదండి. Whatever broadly we are telling, there will be water management, water aquifer recharge, and flood water diversion to fill the local tanks. మన కాకతీయ మిషన్ భగీరథ అని ఏం మాట్లాడామో ఆ కాన్సెప్ట్, ఐఎమ్ నాట్ టెలింగ్ ది స్కీమ్ నేమ్, కాన్సెప్ట్, taking the flood waters to fill the local tanks and strengthening the local tanks through Manriga program, by using the people of the same villages to whom this water will feed for their agriculture and prosperity. So all these items are identified in National Action Plan on Climate Change and State Action Plan on Climate Change for water and food security, agriculture. And some work on creating new low moisture resistive crop varieties and high temperature resistant varieties. Some research on agriculture, Indian Council of Agriculture Research has done, but to make those variety of seeds which are climate resilient are to be advocated very strongly by state government and central government systems. Otherwise, the same seeds which are available by the fertilizer department, local shops, they go for those varieties only. So we have to change them to go for migrate to short duration, low moisture and high temperature resistant varieties to see this bear the brunt of heat waves and dry spells which are going to come in the under the influence of climate change. So all these are there in plans, but on ground we have not built any action, and we have means of doing those actions, identified actions, but for some reason we are not launching them for the benefit of farmers and the water users.
एवरीथिंग इज देयर ऑन द पेपर, पेपर पे सब कुछ है, आचरण योग नहीं है। यही तो हमारी दुर्भाग्य स्थिति है। అన్ని పేపర్ మీద ఉన్నాయి కానీ ఆచరణ సిద్ధం కావు। నేను ఒక అగ్రికల్చర్ ఆఫీసర్స్ అసోసియేషన్ వాళ్ళను when I was talking to extension officers, unfortunately they were not allowed to do their jobs. They are being sent to conduct some surveys. Can you imagine, sir? అగ్రికల్చర్ ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ ఆఫీసర్లను సర్వే చేయమని చెప్తున్నారు, కానీ రైతులకు ఈ కష్టకాలంలో ఏ విధంగా పంటలు, ఎటువంటి పంటలు వేయాలి, ఎటువంటి విత్తనాలు వాళ్ళు తీసుకోవాలనే ఆ వాళ్ళ పని నుంచి వాళ్ళను సర్వేకు పంపిస్తుంటే మన పరిస్థితి ఏమంటారు అంటే అవగాహన లేనటువంటి పరిపాలన. దే డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ ఆఫ్ ది అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్. దట్ ఈస్ వై దే ఆర్ డిప్యూటింగ్ అగ్రికల్చర్ ఆఫీసర్స్ టు సంథింగ్ ఎల్స్ ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ coming to the rescue of agriculture and the farmers which the country needs. Very unfortunate. So, and I'm going to oh, sorry, because I just wanted to show them before, as you rightly said, I will show this. This we have already shown what happens to temperature and
నిన్న మీరు ఒకటి క్లైమేట్ స్కెప్టిక్
I'm showing it, but before that I just wanted to revive see exams by February, crops, water and source. This is 6th March, already burning India, and AP and Telangana, how they are going to be. I'm just giving you try to revisit. Already it is burning. We have shown it on 1st March itself, and we have been showing it every year, so many shows through Dr. KJ Ramesh Garu and other wonderful guests. Still, India is not learning. And now I will play the other side of the theory. There were some theorists who say there is no climate change happening. Then why California, after wildfires, it is being flooded? Why one part of America, Southern America, it becomes cold, and North America, at times it becomes hot, or North America becomes too cold, and Southern America is becoming hot and hotter day by day? Is this the show? I'll just show you.
Climate alarmist, but now says the entire movement is, quote, a scam. Tom Harris.
I'll just enlarge.
Harris is the executive director of the International.
I'm unable to. I'm just enlarging. The other side of the coin, Antangada, we want to show that also. We will discuss how some people are trying to castigate that there is no climate change, but forgetting how America is behaving, how Canada is behaving, how world is behaving, and including Middle East, like countries like Saudi Arabia, which host even Medina flooding, which had never happened.
National Climate Science Coalition. He joins me now. Tom, good to see you tonight. Now, you actually say the only way to get rid of this is to go after the science of climate change. Explain.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people will say, well, you know, Canada, for example, puts out so little greenhouse gas emissions that we shouldn't actually try to reduce it because China is double the United States. Well, the trouble is people argue that, well, yes, but we have to set an example to the world and we have to be good citizens and all that sort of thing. So they're using these arguments quite often that China's doubled the emissions of the US, et cetera. But the real underlying thing is that there is no climate crisis. You know, I was originally an aerospace engineer, and I would give speeches and I wrote articles. I wrote one in the Ottawa Citizen about comparative planetology, how studying the planets helps us understand the Earth better. And I used the example of the runaway greenhouse effect on Venus. I said, this could happen on the Earth if we don't reduce carbon dioxide. Well, a local professor at Carleton University, professor of geology, he liked my article so much he used it in his course on climate change. But he said to the students, but that part about Venus is wrong. What happened on Venus cannot physically happen on the Earth, and he explained why. Now, I thought, who is this climate change denier? Well, he invited me into his lab, and he showed me the geologic history that he and others are finding, and they found no consistent correlation between carbon dioxide and Earth's temperature. At times, CO2 was 1,300% of today, and we were stuck in very cold conditions. So it was all over the board. So I started wondering, well, maybe he's right. He exposed me to a lot of people who actually showed me that there are thousands of scientists. And here's a book actually that illustrates that. It's called Climate Change Reconsidered. And this is on climatechangereconsidered.org. There are thousands of references here which talk about the fact that there is no foundation to the climate scare. It's all based on models that don't work.
Our next guest was once a climate alarmist, but...
So is this what they are trying to wrongfully influence the Trump administration? Simple logic before I go to the expert. The nature of water, liquid, when it is heated, 100 degrees temperature, it becomes water vapor. Then how is it becoming ice? Is there any role of carbon dioxide or carbon and oxygen molecules? Simple logical sense. And because let me go to the expert, and there also we will try to show you, because Dr. KJ Ramesh Garu has come up with wonderful data on the same Americans this thing, and he will explain. I will put that on the screen.
Yeah,
So,
this is the first one we should discuss,
this
and
one?
then let's.
This one, sir?
This is the first one.
Yeah.
Yes, we will discuss
Please,
first.
now you go ahead, sir.
See, this is one important diagram about the carbon dioxide changes for about 800,000 years behind us. So you can see, yes.
Is it visible, sir?
Yeah, it is visible.
Yeah, please.
So this clearly says from 800,000 years and to the present, so carbon dioxide has been increasing and decreasing. So there are Earth climate is going through epochs of ice age and the warm age. So between the ice age and warm age, there will be an interglacial period, we call it, ice age and warm age. In that interglacial period, temperature will increase as it has increased this point, like that. Temperature will increase during the interglacial period. And presently we are in one such interglacial period. So warming by default, without carbon dioxide or greenhouse gases, we are in the warming phase of the Earth atmosphere. So that there is no dispute. But the most significant part is in the earlier increases, it has never crossed 300 ppm so far in the last 800,000 years history of carbon records, dating and other things. So this continuous data is generated, and never it was above 300 ppm in the past. And that level we have crossed in 1911 itself. So you can see that by 1958, we have reached this point of 350. And today we have crossed 420, 426 clearly. So this warming, which is well above the unprecedented carbon dioxide changes between the interglacial periods, is unusual. And that is where the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change proved beyond doubt that this increase in carbon dioxide is, and the temperature warming associated with that, is associated with the greenhouse gases release into the atmosphere. Yes, we'll go to other tables.
Yeah. Now I think is it clear now? I think the only I only hope Mr. Kennedy, through Mr. Kennedy and Mr. Trump, will understand that this is a scientific phenomena of interglacial period wherein this warming is happening now because of.
ఇది కాదు పై టేబుల్స్ ఉన్నాయి చూడండి, పైన టేబుల్స్. We'll come to this later.
Which one you want?
This one also I will show. One moment. కింద దాని కింద ఇది కూడా తెలియాలి జనాలు. So when you measure carbon dioxide concentration, this is done at a place called Mauna Loa over Hawaiian Island. Longest measurements of greenhouse gases are there. In recent years, particularly if you see, there is a annual seasonal variation in the concentrations of greenhouse gases. Whenever it is less in October, November, December, that is the period where crops are grown throughout the world. These negative ones, below ones, negative ones, seasonality, it is less in October, November, December, means that is the primary cropping season, like our Kharif season. When more crops are there, more plants are there, synthesis will be maximum, and carbon dioxide is extracted by the plants, and then oxygen is released. So because of higher plants associated with the agriculture, the carbon dioxide concentrations are less. So this is another phenomena. While you measure carbon dioxide, these changes will happen, but mean has crossed 420 ppm already. Yes, please.
hope
We'll
this
go
is
to two
clear.
tables.
Yeah, I hope this is clear. Mr. Trump, you will understand how agriculture farming is more important. This is what now Kennedy is trying to do, to help small farmers, farming units, to come up in America again, instead of this greenhouse and artificial farming, which is destroying in the form of carbon dioxide and methane. And how well
And this is the proof that agriculture and associated plants can decarbonize the atmosphere significantly.
దీన్ని తెలుగులో కూడా చెప్పండి సార్ కొద్దిగా, ఎందుకంటే మన వాళ్ళకి అర్థం కావాలి.
ఈ డయాగ్రామ్ నుంచి చూపించేది ఏంటంటే కార్బన్ డయాక్సైడ్ అక్టోబరు లో ఆగస్ట్, సెప్టెంబర్, అక్టోబర్, డిసెంబర్ మధ్యలో తక్కువగా ఉంటుంది. ఎందుకు తక్కువగా ఉంటుందంటే అగ్రికల్చర్ యాక్టివ్గా ఉంటుంది ఆ సీజన్లో. మన ఖరీఫ్ సీజన్లో అగ్రికల్చర్ యాక్టివ్గా ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి ఎన్ని ఎక్కువ ప్లాంట్స్ ఉంటే అంత కార్బన్ డయాక్సైడ్ అట్మాస్ఫియర్ నుంచి ప్లాంట్స్ తీసుకుని మనకు ఆక్సిజన్ను రిలీజ్ చేస్తాయి. కార్బన్ డయాక్సైడ్ ప్లాంట్స్ తీసుకుని సాయిల్లో పెడితే సాయిల్ ఫర్టిలిటీ కూడా పెరుగుతుంది, సాయిల్ సాంద్రత పెరుగుతుంది, దాని మూలన మనకే ఈల్డ్ కూడా పెరుగుతుంది. అందుకనే ప్లాంట్స్ని, అగ్రికల్చర్ని మనం ఈజీగా డైవర్సిఫై చేస్తూ డీకార్బనైజ్ చేయగలము. అట్మాస్ఫియర్లో ఉన్న కార్బన్ డయాక్సైడ్ని చాలా ఖర్చు లేకుండా అట్మాస్ఫియర్లో ఉన్న కార్బన్ డయాక్సైడ్ని మొక్కలు తీసుకుని భూమిలో దాన్ని పదిలపరిచి భూ సాంద్రతను పెంచి మనకు అట్మాస్ఫియర్కి ఆక్సిజన్ని రిటర్న్ చేస్తాయి. ఫోటోసింథసిస్ అంటాం, మనందరికీ తెలుసు. సో అగ్రికల్చర్ ఎంత ఇంపార్టెంటో, ఎంత ఈజీగా అట్మాస్ఫియర్లో ఉన్న కార్బన్ డయాక్సైడ్ని మనం తీసుకోగలమో, తీసుకుని తగ్గించగలమో ఈ డయాగ్రామ్ ద్వారా మీకు తెలియజేయాలని ప్రయత్నిస్తున్నాం.
प्रधानमंत्री जी और मुख्यमंत्री जी, आप जान जाइए, ये पिक्चर से अगर हम खेती बाड़ी नहीं करते और जंगल और रिजर्व फॉरेस्ट एरिया खत्म करते तो ये कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड जो हवा में है वो बढ़ती ही जाएगी. अगर खेती बाड़ी है, फॉरेस्ट है, रिजर्व ग्रीन एरियास है, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड को ये हमारे पेड़ और ये जो भी है उसको ऑब्जर्व करेगा और उसके साथ ऑक्सीजन रिलीज करेगा, साथ में फसल भी आएगा. इस वजह से हम मेंटेन करते हैं. जंगल को खत्म मत करिए और हमारे खेती बाड़ी को खत्म मत करिए. हमारी ग्रीन एरिया जो हैदराबाद वाज फेमस फॉर, मिस्टर रेवंत रेड्डी, you are trying to finish off. Now again you are going for fourth city, concrete city, destroying the Ibrahimpatnam natural habitation called forest areas. You think you are trying to compare New York. New York has got lot of lung space, as KG Ramesh garu already explained, exposed to you. Which ones are next? There is some technical problem with the guest. He is going to come back and is clearly explaining us what is happening. The myth that climate crisis is not happening now has been proved scientifically, that there is a serious climate crisis, warmer and then the absolute cold age, and in between interglacial, how greenhouse gases are contributing to the increase of carbon dioxide. With increase of carbon dioxide, if you have less and less and less of agriculture, if you are destroying forests, and if you are destroying green cover as Hyderabad had, it is now almost extinct, the carbon dioxide will remain like that because there is no proper agriculture, because even agricultural lands in villages are being destroyed in Telangana, land use being changed, and they are killing hills and hillocks. So the natural absorption of carbon dioxide, natural storage of water is gone. That is why this extreme heat. గుట్టలు కొండలను ఖతం చేస్తున్నారు, వ్యవసాయాన్ని ఖతం చేస్తున్నారు ఊర్లలో. ఆ పంటలు ఉంటే తప్ప కార్బన్ డయాక్సైడ్ని అవి పీల్చి మనకు ఆక్సిజన్ ఇస్తుంది, తద్వారా పంటలను ఇస్తుంది, వాతావరణాన్ని దాన్ని సరి అయిన మోతాదులో నిలబెట్టడానికి వ్యవసాయం చాలా అవసరం. Yes sir, we have last 10 minutes. Which one you want me to show?
Yeah. This is the table. Another table is there. We will show that first.
This one?
కింద టేబుల్ ఇది చూసాం మనం. ఇది 19 కాదు, పైకి వెళ్దాం. ఇది 1990ది. ఎస్, దిస్ వన్. సో ఈ టేబుల్ మీకు మా ఇంట్లో పవర్ పోయింది, దట్ వాస్ ది ప్రాబ్లం.
No problem, sir.
ఇది చూడొచ్చు. ఇది 2023లో ఉన్న కార్బన్ డైఆక్సైడ్ రిలీజెస్ బై ఇండివిజువల్ కంట్రీస్. మీరు 2023లో చూస్తే చైనా ఎక్కువగా ఉంది, యునైటెడ్ స్టేట్స్ నెక్స్ట్, ఇండియా థర్డ్ పొజిషన్లో ఉంది 2023లో. సో దీన్నే మన ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్ లో చెప్పింది, చైనా ఇండియా ఎక్కువ రిలీజ్ చేస్తున్నాయి అని. ఇది 2023లో ఉన్నది. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు మనం గ్రో అవుతున్నాం, మన జీడిపి పెరుగుతోంది, చైనాది ఇండియాది గ్లోబల్లీ వీఆర్ గ్రోయింగ్. 5th లార్జెస్ట్ ఎకానమీ అంటున్నాం. చైనా ఈజ్ ఆల్రెడీ ఫస్ట్ ఎకానమీ ఇన్ ద వరల్డ్ in terms of their GDP. So let us go to another table which is in between 1960, 1970. This is in the middle. Yes. So this is at 1986 కదండి ఇది.
చూస్తున్నాను సార్,
కింద చూడండి ఎల్లో.
1986.
1986లో ఉన్న సిచ్యువేషన్ చూస్తే అప్పటికి కూడా యునైటెడ్ స్టేట్స్ నంబర్ 1 హైయెస్ట్ ఎమిటర్. మనం ఎక్కడున్నాం? 9వ పొజిషన్ లో ఉన్నాం. చూడండి, మన దగ్గర 426 మెగాటన్స్, మిలియన్ టన్స్ ఆఫ్ కార్బన్ డైఆక్సైడ్. అమెరికా చూడండి 4664. ఇప్పుడు ఎప్పటికీ అమెరికానే హైయెస్ట్ ఎమిటర్, తర్వాత రష్యన్ ఫెడరేషన్, జర్మనీ, వీళ్ళన్నీ. బట్ చైనా స్టార్టెడ్ industrialization rapidly in post 70 itself along with other countries. Only initially it was not there. By 1986 China also started emitting half of United States, whereas 2023 మీరు చూసాము, it is higher than United States. So let us go to 1960. ఇక్కడ చూస్తే higher than United States. ఇప్పుడు చూస్తే China is the higher.
India coming to third place.
India coming third place. So let's go to another one. No, not this.
2001.
Let's 2001 if you see. So India is in 5th position. America is number 1 even up to 2001.
Yeah.
China is much later. So from up to 2000 you can see Europe, America, Canada are the highest emitters of carbon dioxide. So today's level of 420 and above ppm. So who are responsible for those carbon dioxide emissions? And let us go to beginning 1901 or something like that. And one more table should be there somewhere.
I am trying to check. 2023.
23 1960 దేతో ఉండాలి ఇంకోటి.
2001. So these are all the evidence,
2001.
my dear friends, which we are trying to show you.
ఇంకో టేబుల్ ఎటువంటిది ఉండాలండి 1901 ది.
I'm just trying to check.
కింద. ఇది ఎస్.
1960.
1960లో చూడండి, మనం అసలు ఇండస్ట్రియలైజేషన్ స్టార్ట్ కాలేదు ఇండియాలో. 11th పొజిషన్ లో ఉన్నాం.
Just 111.
పవర్ ప్లాంట్లు తప్పితే ఏం లేవు మన దగ్గర. అప్పుడు కూడా ఫ్యూ థర్మల్ పవర్ ప్లాంట్స్. అప్పటికి చూడండి యునైటెడ్ స్టేట్స్ ఎప్పటి నుంచి కూడా హైయెస్ట్ ఎమిటరే.
So I hope we have cleared that video. United States of America is the highest and the best violator of climate change, and it is causing climate change. Now it has come down. Now China has gone up. Now India is also going up. This is very bad for the entire world, not just for India. Yes, sir. Next.
When America was growing, they were emitting. When we are growing, we are also emitting. But our commitment is there to global world is our emission intensity. Means year on year increase of carbon dioxide emissions from India will not increase. We will restrict it to 2005 levels of our emissions. So that is the promise India has made. Whatever levels of carbon dioxide emissions were there in 2005, we will maintain at the same level. Emission intensity will be less. So we will not increase in an accelerated manner. That is the commitment India has done. So if this budget in 2023, if you see, So fossil fuels, that means petroleum products and those thermal power plants. So they will be the highest segment, 37%. And then land use, land cover. This is the agriculture, forest and everything. This will change. If deforestation అయితే పెరుగుతుంది, అగ్రికల్చర్ నుంచి కూడా కొంచెం మీథేన్ ఎమిషన్స్ వస్తాయి. అవన్నీ కలుపుకుని ఇట్ ఈజ్ ఓన్లీ 3.7% ఇంక్రీజ్. దెన్ సింక్, ఫారెస్ట్ నుంచి కార్బన్ డైఆక్సైడ్ రిమూవల్, absorption of carbon dioxide, removal from carbon dioxide from forest is 8.4%. And ocean also absorbs carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, it is 10.6%. So, manaketla untayante carbon dioxide growth is increasing by about 22 million gigatons in 2023. Out of that, total emission is 40.9 and sink is 19. Our effort should be to increase this sink by agriculture operations and the afforestation, protecting the forest and expanding the forest, so that the release of the, we call net zero emissions. No, net zero means this 40.9 means this also should be 40.9.
Oh,
So that is the net zero we call in parlance. So that is what is the target. Many countries said by 2050 they will try to reach net countries at their country level. But globally also, collectively, we should work to meet this particular figure.
Yeah. So last 3 minutes, sir. Now, what is the advice you want to give to the Prime Minister?
The advice is let us understand that climate change is real, and global scientists under the umbrella of International Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has proved beyond doubt this, and the emission reduction efforts so far have not been truthfully implemented to see that emission reductions globally are reducing year on year. And instead of that, we are blaming each other. Now India, China are emitting higher, but we are emitting only now last 2-3 years. Last post 2005 and 2010 you can call. But before that, for decades, America and other countries only have emitted. They are only responsible for the today's levels of carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases concentration crossing 420 ppm. They are only responsible. If they are not taking the responsibility of addressing and bearing the costs of impacts of climate change due to increased frequency, intensity of extreme weather events like thunderstorms, lightning, heat waves, floods, landslides, glacial linked outburst floods, glacial lake outburst floods, landslides, mudslides, and even debris flows, whatever consequences are happening, if they are not responsible, who is responsible? United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change has clearly said earlier past emitters of greenhouse gases are to bear the costs of impacts by the developing countries and island nations and least developed nations. So that's where the whole world has to bear the cost of minimizing the adverse impacts. Islands are threatened by sea level rise and melting of glaciers, and wherever floods are happening, heavy rainfall is triggering. That's where urban areas or hilly areas, everywhere our development is facing destruction. Whatever we have built in last 3-4 decades, they are not becoming sustainable. They are not resilient. Our development has proved to be non-resilient to the impacts of extreme weather events. At least now we should plan to build our infrastructure that will be resilient to resist the impact of brunt of extreme weather events of the future, which is going to be there, and it is not going to reduce.
This is what it is. At least now Prime Minister, Chief Ministers plan a development first to save the lives, and then protect the forests, and then green areas, and then agriculture. Otherwise, this climate change is going to destroy the Mother Earth, and we are the sufferers. What about our children?